Greetings, moviegoers. I'm the host, and joining me here again are Lala and Hildebeast, and we are about... Yep. Joining me here again are Lala.
What's up?
And Hildebeast.
What it do?
Today we're gonna review... This is Guardians of the Galaxy. After the multiple successes of Phase 1 in Marvel Cinematic Universe, the studio decided to shake things up for Phase 2 by tackling an even lesser known property than the likes of Iron Man and Thor, the Guardians of the Galaxy, which follows a group of intergalactic convicts and mercenaries who, out of unlikely circumstances, band together to fight for various noble or unnoble causes. Featured in the group, or at least in the film version, are Peter Quill, also known as Star-Lord, the only Earthbound member on the team, and played by Parks and Recreation's Chris Pratt, the green-skinned assassin Gamora, played by Avatar's Zoe Saldana, the revenge-obsessed Drax the Destroyer, played by former wrestler Dave Bautista, the genetically altered raccoon named Rocket, and his tree-like sidekick Groot, both voiced by Bradley Cooper and Vin Diesel respectively. Yeah, automatically hearing about the bizarre premise and these even more bizarre characters, you could already sense that this was going to be Marvel's biggest risk to date.
Well, I mean, go from Winter Soldier to Guardians. That's what this year's movies are.
Yeah.
You know, like,
it's a big
Winter
stretch.
Soldier was a damn good superhero Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And then this is straight up Marvel, you know, Avengers style, Big Bang. We're gonna make you pee your pants.
Yeah, seriously, can we talk about how, like, it was, like, full action the whole time, essentially?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's not a moment in this that feels wasted or tacked on. The filmmakers definitely put a shit ton of effort into making this one of the coolest, most action-packed movies you'll see this summer. But it probably would not have worked at all if the characters had not been so perfectly written and portrayed, because their interactions and individual personalities are what sell this movie.
Rocket's my favorite. I love his attitude.
Yeah, him and Groot especially were definitely the biggest standouts for me as well.
Drax was my favorite character. I just loved that when Raccoon was like, his race is too literal, and that just made so much more, like, he had some of the best lines in the movie that I just died laughing at because it was hilarious.
I kind of want to talk about Gamora because that character intrigued me just because I've been hearing about the main villain, Thanos. And it intrigued me when she's like the adopted daughter. I'm like, okay, we're starting to get somewhere. I'm trying to learn all the ties of this universe.
But I think Gamora, for me, honestly, was the weakest character. I mean, I knew going in she was Thanos' adopted daughter. And I felt like they didn't give enough reason for her to, you know,
betray him?
Yeah, betray Thanos and Ronan.
Now that you brought him up, what did you guys think of Ronan?
Yeah, Ronan was a whiny bitch.
Yeah, Ronan kind of got on my nerves. I didn't really understand why he hated that particular planet so much.
Other than them killing a lot of their people.
Right. I mean, like, I got it through a little bit of dialogue where he's like, they killed my father and his father before that and his father before that. I'm like, okay. So I can kind of see, like, why you'd be super pissed. But why are you a genocidal maniac?
Yeah, I could definitely see what you guys are saying, but as far as Marvel movie villains go, I think he's one of the better ones to be introduced, in my opinion. Sure, he's nowhere near on par with Loki or Red Skull, but he's certainly more memorable than those other lackluster baddies we've seen in the past. Oh, and I have to bring this up before I forget. The soundtrack for this movie kicks ass.
Yes, the soundtrack is awesome. I was just about to say that. It's awesome.
And part of what makes it so great is that it ties in so well with Peter Quill's story arc, since the songs all come from this cassette tape of his and is essentially the only memory he has of Earth.
I think it made the world more relatable for us, though, too.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's how Peter coped with being in this, like, fantastical world that his friends on Earth only dream of.
Yeah, and as much as we love to harp on about how great the visuals are and how funny the jokes are and how great the soundtrack is, this movie has a surprisingly large amount of emotional weight to it, especially during the film's opening scene, which is so devastating and heartbreaking that it almost feels out of place when compared to the rest of the movie.
I remember sitting next to you in the movie, and like the first 5 minutes, I was like, there's too many feels happening. Like, way too many feels for this type of movie.
Yeah.
And I felt emotionally abused at first. And then they just made me feel so much better, coddled me and gave me action and, you know, Rocket Raccoon.
So on a scale from 1 to 10, what would you give it, Lala?
I'm giving it a 10. I had a great time watching this movie. I bet you the more I watch it, the better it's going to be for me.
I'm going to give it a 9. And I love the crap out of this movie. This movie is awesome. There's just a few things that just didn't make it as astounding as it could have been. But yeah, I would say 9 out of 10.
This movie was just a complete and utter blast from start to finish. Everything about it, from the memorable characters to the ingenious writing, works so well for me that I'm willing to face negative feedback head on when I declare Guardians of the Galaxy as Marvel's finest work to date. Even more so than the Avengers and the Winter Soldier. It's that f***ing good.
Say what?
And that concludes our show. I'm the host.
I'm Lala.
I'm Hildebeast.
And we will see you next time on another Midnight Movie Madness.
What time